Yeah, so hello guys, my name is Shivam Pandey, and you are watching Underscore and Uncover YouTube channel. And for today, we are taking one new subject, which is technical communication, and it is your basically not very high weightage credit subject in your AKTU, but it is also equally important as it tells you about and it guides you about various technical communications and how you behave professionally in a corporate world or a world where you have to work, right? So I have the PPT of this unit, which is unit number 5, and it is prepared by my ma'am, which is Dr. Ritu Sauryan ma'am, who teaches in Dronacharya Group of Institutions, Greater Noida, and I have taken the help of this PPT to explain you the whole unit. So let us begin. So the first topic is digital communication and personality making. Right. So here we have given the different topics which we have to cover in this unit. First, we have to learn about webinars, podcasts, blogs, effective and ethical use of media speed and personality, exploring the connections, skills, and personality, Maslow of Fluid. Definition. So we will begin with what is webinar. A webinar is a web-based seminar that leverages digital technologies to host presentations, workshops, lectures, or even discussions. In a typical webinar, there is a presenter or a group of presenters who use software or online platforms to interact with an online audience. Webinar participants can usually see and hear the presenter. They can even engage with the presenters through text-based chat, Q&A sessions, or sometimes through video feeds. Presenters often use visual aids like PowerPoint presentations, videos, and images to effectively convey their content. Yeah, so what is a webinar? You have might have seen different webinars in your colleges and different places where these webinars are conducted. So basically, what is a webinar? So webinar is a web-based seminar that leverages technologies to hold presentations, workshop. Yeah. So webinar uses the technologies like PowerPoint presentations, lectures, or discussions which are done on a web-based mode, and this is a typical type of discussion also in which people connect with each other, and there is one host which hosts the whole group, and it shares his feelings and knowledges on the specific topic. And if anyone wants to have some discussion over something, they can put over their queries, and the host answers them in a online platform. So basically, the audience is also online, and and the audience is seeing the teacher or the host like virtually, and they are not physically connected at any point. So this is totally a network-based communication. So what are the advantages of webinars? The first advantage is accessibility. Webinars eliminate geographical barriers by allowing participants from different locations to attend the same event simultaneously. This is particularly beneficial for international or remote audience. For example, like if you want to study from a teacher from a very well-known university, which is Oxford University, and you have got the contact of the your teacher professor, and he says you that you come to my university, and then I will teach you about a specific topic or a specific a specific topic or specific something. So, to go abroad, there are various barriers like visa and permit to go to fly abroad. And even if you get these things, then a lot of money is required to bear the expenses of the country in which you are going, and the flight expenses are also very much high. So not everyone can bear with this. And if you want to do some course with a very well-known university across the globe, then what you can do is that then you can have an online webinar where the professor of the same university teaches you the same things that he would teach you there physically, but he will teach you online here with the same facilities, same everything, and he will guide you in the same manner which he would do there. The only difference would be that it would be very easier for you to learn because you are at your own home, at your own ease, and you can learn from anywhere you want. Cost efficient, yes. In the example I've taken, it also proves that it is very cost efficient. As if you are on your own home and you are learning from your own uh, on your own site, then most probably you are saving a lot of money. You're only paying your internet bills, and you are not going to anywhere. It also saves your transportation cost and everything, and you are very cost efficient at the same time. Convenience, yeah. I also told you about the convenience. You are at your own home or any of your place, and you have only need a laptop or anything device or and active internet connection. So that's all you require for your webinar. Interactive, yeah. Webinars can be highly interactive. Participants can ask questions, provide feedback. Yeah, it depends on your teacher at the same time because various teachers just give lecture and they go away. But in webinars or professional teachers use this communication, use this way. They ask for feedback at the end of the lectures because feedbacks are very much important because they let the teacher know that whether the students are getting what you are teaching, and this should be done by every teacher so that they could improve or just they could manage their way of teaching depending on the student whether they are understanding or not. Recording and reusability, yes. The online lectures can also be recorded, and these recordings can be listened by the students anytime in the future if we want to just revise and recap the topic which have been taught to them. So it would be very much easy, and it would make the things easy because they are giving the opportunity to listen the words of the teacher twice, and it will be more productive for the students. Data analytics. Webinar platforms provide valuable data and analytics such as attendance rate, participant engagement, and feedback, and which can be used to provide improve future events and tailor content to need of audience. Yeah. So the online webinars have also various features of attendance rate. You don't have to manually write down the attendance of every student. Instead, you get a whole Excel sheet being prepared by the platform itself, which tell you the name and the email ID of every student who has joined the meeting or the webinar, and you get the how much time he has been in the meeting and how much attentive he has been by seeing the responses sent by the student in the chats or in the emoji or in the handle section or any section the app provides. So this is the very good feature, or I would say a very big plus point for using webinars or online webinars basically. So at the same time, if you are seeing various advantages, then there might be some disadvantages of the same thing. So now let us move towards the disadvantages and what are the cons of using this. Technical issues. At times, participants may encounter technical difficulties such as poor internet connectivity, software glitches, or compatibility issues, which can disrupt the webinar experience. Yeah. So the very first issue is that various students face technical issues like sometimes in some situations or some cities or country or places the internet facility is not very good, and the connectivity of the student or the listener or gets disrupted frequently, and that breaks the overall like flow of the and chain of the mind of the listener, which results in a poor communication or a poor feedback. Sorry, not feedback, but poor grasping of the concept by the listener. Lack of personal interaction, yeah. So as there is no face-to-face interaction, which can seem to be boring for some individuals, as there is no physical interaction. So you are not seeing somebody physically. You are just only listening and hearing to the person online, and you don't feel that connection and that feeling is missing somewhere. So yeah, this is also a very major. disadvantage of online communication. Overwhelming content. Some webinars deliver too much information in a short time, which leads to cognitive overload and reduces retention of key concepts. Yeah. So also in the time we have seen that students want to learn, or everyone wants to learn the concepts in very less time, and they do so by watching some one shots lecture, and this overall reduces the rate of the knowledge, which turns out by delivering many important concepts in very less time. So, if you are learning very long lectures in very short time, then is being done to use that? You are not learning things at the rate which they have to be learned, right? So everything has a specific rate and uh, specific rate which they have to be learned. And if you try to learn many things in shorter time, then you might miss some important and key concepts, which results in a not a very successful rate in your uh, knowledge. Security concerns. Online events are susceptible to security breaches such as unauthorized access or data theft if they are not adequately protected. Engagement challenges, yeah, for security, it is also not very much obvious, because if anyone gets your ID and your password, then they can access your account, and they can be using your account as they want. Engagement challenges. Since webinars lack personal interaction, it can become challenging to maintain audience engagement throughout the event, especially if participants are multitasking or lose interest. Yeah. So this is a also major disadvantage, and it is related to the lack of personal interaction. And for example, if anyone is at a distance at to any organization or university or anything, and they are connected to the university daily, then they might feel very boring that they are only connected to a or to or to a laptop or a screen, and they are just seeing the whole lecture without the physical interaction, which makes it very boring. And since it has been introduced in the past, I think so 4 or 5 years only. So it is also not very adaptive for them, because to make something adaptive, it needs or requires time of approximately it requires times of approximately a lot of years. And since we are physically only connected by lots of years, and so it would be very much difficult to for the students or the listeners to adapt to this new trend very easily. Limited non-verbal communication. Yeah. So body language, facial expressions would be missing in these online communication, because body language is also very much important if you want to achieve a good communication and a good overall personality of a person. And these often remains not very much used in the online communication, or it is very much like they are not judged of in the online communication. So it also a disadvantage of this type of communication. Yeah, and so in today's world, webinars have become a very popular and powerful tool for disseminating information, conducting trainings, and hosting events. The advantages include accessibility, cost efficiency, and the same things which I have explained you. So the same thing is written here, so no need to read this. Yeah, so now let us move towards podcasts. Podcast is a digital audio or video file series that is available on the internet for streaming or downloading. Podcasts are typically episodic and cover a wide range of topics from news and entertainment to education and personal development. Users can subscribe to podcasts through podcast apps or websites, which enables them to automatically receive new episodes when they are released. So you might have seen various podcasts nowadays, and it is very growing in today's scenario. So basically, what podcast is this? There are two-person usually. There can be more people, more than two, but in general, if I would say, and it is very common, which I have seen. There are two people sitting, and they both have one mic each, and they record. One person asks the question from the another, and basically one is the host, and the another one is the guest, and one person asks the questions from the another one, and the other person or the guest which have been arrived into the podcast answers the questions very much, and the host asks the questions, which is also sometimes pre-planned, and a script has been made so that they could, like, answer the question also very easily, and there is no time loss for just remembering and thinking of questions which could be asked, so it saves the time also. And yeah, so this is a type of podcast that usually happens in the current scenario. Podcasts are a form of on-demand audio or video content that allows the creators to share their thoughts, ideas, stories, or expertise with a global audience. They're often produced in a conversational style, and they can be scripted, unscripted, or a combination of both. Yeah, the same thing I've taught. They can be scripted or unscripted, or some part can be scripted and some part can be just kept raw and real. And yeah, so it is. It can be both audio and video form. Video form can include the visuals of the person who is speaking, and audio would only include the voice recording between the two persons, the talk between the two persons. Benefits: it increases the convenience and diverse content, educational tool, community building, low barriers to entry, monetization, improve communication skills. Yeah. So now let us see the advantages one by one. So convenience is that you are getting a chance and you are just you are talking to one person and your voice is being heard by the whole world. So this is very easy because by presenting your views at one time and just recording it and publishing it on an internet site, then what happens that the whole world can see you and they can relate to your knowledge and uh, your thoughts, your stories, and they can just relate to your knowledge if they like it. Diverse content. Yeah, so on a particular channel, you might have seen that there are different content or different field of content which they make. For example, if let us take this live example of one podcaster who is Raj Shamani, and he has taken interviews of many people like politicians and various teachers and Bollywood stars and actors, heroines, heroes, and various people, and also businessmen, such as recently he has taken the interview of Vijay Mallya also, and various controversial person also, and yeah, so he has taken interview of many people and very well-known people. So it improves the and it also is good for that person also, that Raj Mani also, because the audience which is rated or which is linked to that person who is being arriving, who is doing podcast with him, gets also the viewership of Raj Shamani, and they get connected to this channel also. So this is a good factor for him also. And education tool, community building, yeah. So it is very good for building communities, like for example like-minded people, when they gather upon on a podcast, then they have same type of knowledge and they have same type of thinking, which help them to build a community where they can where they can think, and where they can share their knowledge and grow grow by sharing ideas and thoughts. Yeah. So low barriers to entry, monetization. Yeah, people also earn money from this podcast because lakhs on lakhs of millions of views come. if your podcast goes viral, and you get paid a very good amount of money if you get your channel monetized and you have a good amount of audience. Improved communication skills, yeah. So by making podcasts and recording podcasts, makes your communication skills very strong, and by interactive, you get you get prone to like real world situations, and you get a sense of pressure also in front of cameras. And if you manage these things, then your communication skills also improve very much. Now, so what are the disadvantages of this podcast? The very first disadvantage is that it leads to oversaturation. So, what is this? The podcasting landscape is highly competitive, and there are thousands of podcasts on virtually every topic. This makes it challenges for a new podcasts to gain visibility and attract a specific audience. Yeah, so it is basically talking that uh, in the recent times we have might have seen that various people have come across who do these podcasts and things. And since a lot of people are doing this activity, then if a new podcast or a new person is doing an activity, then he might face difficulty to gain the like attention of the audience, and it would lead to quality variability. All podcasts do not have high production values. The quality of content, audio, and editing vary significantly, which can be off-putting to some listeners. Time commitment. Creating and maintaining a podcast can be time consuming. Planning, recording, editing, and promoting episodes require dedication and lots of effort. Limited engagement. Yeah, so it also quite common. I don't think that these have to explain to you in very much detail, because these are the basic or the very common things that that you can also write by yourself in your AKTU exams. And the thing that matters in your examinations are that how you present your topic. Yeah, so make diagrams, and if nothing, then also you write down. Then you write podcast in the middle of the page, and you make different arrows, and you explain the key points of the podcast in various boxes made around the word podcast. That's the basic idea on how you present your uh, paper, your answer in your paper, because it makes a very good impact on the evaluator who is checking your copy. See, now let us see blogs. So a blog, short form of web blog, is an online platform or website where individuals or groups of authors share their thoughts, opinions, information, and experiences. So this is an online platform website where individuals or group of authors share their thoughts, opinions, information, and experiences. Right. Characteristics, content variety. For a wide range of topics, including personal diaries, news, authorship can be authored by individuals, groups, organizations, or businesses. They offer a platform for personal expression, for journalism, marketing, and more. Frequent updates, right? Multimedia also, and significance, personal expression, journalism, education, and function is mentioned. So I would be sharing these notes, and you can read from this. Notes, and just you can have a little bit of knowledge about these topics, and if the question comes into your exam, then do remember the key headlines and write down the content in your own words if it suits you, and do not exaggerate the things, but write the limited things, which is correct, and do not repeat the same lines um, again and again, which I have seen into many AKTU copies. The students repeat these things again and again, which is sometimes bad for the invigilator or the teacher who checks your copy, because if he reads the points again and again, then he would feel that the student is not well educated and about the topic, and he is writing the same thing just to increase the words or the length of the answer. Effective use of social media, clear communication, right? Visual appeal, hashtags and keywords. We also know that what are hashtags and what are keywords, which improves your discoverability over the internet. Ethical use of privacy and data protection, effective and yeah, speech and personality. So, what does personality means? It is a collection of traits, behaviors, and attitudes that define a person. The word personality comes from the Latin word persona, which refers to a theatrical mask worn by performers for different roles. So, what is now personality? So, personality is the collection of traits, behaviors, and attitudes that define a person. So, personality is not about a specific thing. It is a combination of different factors. Like example, you might have got different genes from your father. You might look differently, and you might have been. You're also your behaviors matter a lot, because how you walk, how you talk, how you deal with people. It also is included into your personality, and also your attitude towards different situations, and is also included in your personality. When you say Amitabh Bachchan has personality, you think of everything about him that impresses you. His acting abilities, baritone voice, ageless fitness, choice of roles, hard work and determination, and body language. It's difficult but not impossible to improve your personality. Personality development, investing in yourself, your qualities, and your growth. Yeah, so it has here an example of Amitabh Bachchan has been taken, because he is a very good actor and a very famous personality in today's scenario. So the example of the person is has been described here, and it is also written that it is not impossible to improve your personality, and if you work on your personality and work hard on it, then you can definitely improve it day by day. What is personality development? So, personality development is building your capacities, nurturing your talent, enhancing new skill sets, working on your weaknesses, and transforming them into strengths. Yeah, so not personality is built by the birth. People work hard on it, and they develop their personalities and raise their bars day by day. For example, if a person is not physically fit, or he is very fat, or his personality is very not good looking, or I would say that he's not very attractive by looking. So what he can do is that he can join gym, and he can do various activities like running, walking, swimming, gymming, to improve his physical personality, and that would also definitely improve his confidence into his real life, and would improve his personality overall. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. The notes will be shared. So this is only part one of the this unit, and part two will be shared uh, very quickly, by most probably by tomorrow, and you will get the whole chapter by tomorrow. So that's all for today. Thank you.